Hey guys, what's going on? Aaron here. So in this video, giving you guys some Celsius bankruptcy updates, but then I'm going to head to the computer right here, show you the latest video from Larry Fink of BlackRock saying that Bitcoin is a flight to quality. And that really comes after what happened today. There was a false sharing, or there was a false news story that a Bitcoin ETF was approved. We saw this spike in Bitcoin, which I'll cover, and the price actually has not fallen to where it was before the fake news happened. So let me just start out with Celsius and then go ahead and talk about these other stories. So heading into Celsius really quick, we are still nailing down the sell token price that they are going to be giving people for all of their sell token in the app. Now, once this is figured out, then we will move on to other objections from like the US trustee, the SEC, and others. Right here, though, it is the UCC saying that they want to exclude the expert testimony from Hussein Faraj for a couple of reasons. One, he is not qualified to offer an expert opinion, and also his report is not reliable. The 172-page expert report was prepared in less than 72 hours and generated almost entirely using AI. Now, Hussein Faraj was trying to make an argument for a higher price for sell token than 25 cents. Off the top of my brain, I forgot the exact price. I think it was in like the 60-cent range. But basically, the UCC is like, this guy is not reliable, and we need to not give him the time and not use his report. They say that he does not employ a reliable or generally accepted method to value the sell token. And also that Mr. Faraj confuses the pause or freeze date with the petition date. So this is 100 pages, not going to go through all of it, but basically just they want to disregard his report, and the UCC really, again, they are fighting for this 25-cent sell token. So this is interesting. We have somebody, a pro se creditor named Dmitry Kirsanov. He wants to submit a transcript as an exhibit. Now, this comes from Sam Bankman-Fried's trial, and the part of the transcript that he wants to submit is Caroline Ellison talking to Sam Bankman-Fried about selling a couple $1 billion worth of Bitcoin if Bitcoin went above $20,000. So this is one of the bombshells, one of the many bombshells in the Sam Bankman-Fried criminal trial, and this is 216 pages, so I'm obviously not going to read all of it, but this comes from, again, the SBF trial that is going on right now. Now, I don't know exactly why he wants to submit this transcript. I should know, but I don't. Sorry if I'm missing something. I bet I missed some article on it, but if I had to guess, it's probably about dollarizing our claims at the petition date, and possibly the price of Bitcoin was suppressed below $20,000. I believe the Bitcoin price for our claims is $19,800, if I remember correctly. So possibly this pro se creditor wants some proof in the court in our trial that the price of Bitcoin was negatively suppressed, and maybe to fight for a higher petition date. I'm not entirely sure. And finally, for today, October 17th, this is going to be the debtors, meaning Celsius, their exhibits for cross-examination. So they are going to be looking at this Hussein Faraj, his report, David Schneider, another pro se creditor, Dmitry Kirsanov, that is the person submitting right here the transcript of SBF. And for the sake of time, not going to go through all 529 pages. A lot of these are tweets starting out from Hussein Faraj. Again, this is the person who submitted the report on sell token that they want to get thrown out of court because they don't think it's reliable. So a lot of exhibits, and ultimately, I am just focused on, like we all are, like I say every week or every time I make a video, on getting out of Chapter 11, getting our coins back, whether that's an orderly liquidation where we don't get the NewCo equity, or we go with the NewCo plan, get the equity, and just move on. So now I want to change the topic really quick, but this is super important. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. Wow, when did this happen? Well, it happened October of 2017. So just about 6 years ago, the CEO of BlackRock says that Bitcoin just shows you how much demand for money laundering there is in the world. And this is right after the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, called people who own Bitcoin stupid. So now let me play for you this video that happened today from Larry Fink talking about Bitcoin.
This rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
A flight to quality. All right. So 6 years after, he says Bitcoin is there for money laundering. And it shows just how much of a demand there is for money laundering. So the real question that you need to ask yourself is, why did he change his tune and completely change his tune? Did Bitcoin change? And the answer is obviously no. Bitcoin, the technology, has not changed. So for Larry Fink and also Jamie Dimon to completely change their tones on Bitcoin is not because Bitcoin has improved or gotten better. Larry Fink is not saying that Bitcoin as a company, for example, is producing more revenue, as if he were talking about, say, Tesla or something. The technology, again, has not changed. Back in 2017, still a max of 21 million Bitcoin. There is no changes, right? So very, very important to remember that. For him to change his tune so dramatically, in my opinion, it's because he wants the price of Bitcoin and maybe the crypto market as a whole to go up. He wants price to go up because he is now invested in Bitcoin. These guys talk their book. They either say it's crap, so the price will go down and then they can buy it at a low price, or they say it's great because they want the price to go up. So don't think that Larry Fink is not going to dump on you when the price of Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs. He probably will. He's probably going to dump on you. He's going to sell, and I'll talk more about that, more about selling when the price gets higher in another video. But everything they do is calculated. And what he talked about in that video is this false spot ETF news. So Cointelegraph is really under fire right now. Basically, what happened is Cointelegraph's social media team posted a message on Twitter, or X, without prior editorial approval, stating that the US SEC had approved BlackRock's iShares Spot Bitcoin ETF. This was false, the result of misinformation. The news originated from an unconfirmed screenshot posted by an X user who claimed it was from the Bloomberg terminal. All right, so we have Cointelegraph basically saying there was an unconfirmed screenshot posted by an ex-user, and then they ran with the story. Cointelegraph ran with the story, and they're giving all this proof, and it's actually pretty funny, honestly. Zach XBT, big on Twitter, he said, source, some random stoned Pepe profile picture on Telegram is what gave you the news for this Bitcoin ETF being approved. Dylan LeClaire, another awesome guy on Twitter, says, you could have just deleted it and claimed to have been hacked, which begs the question, what was the price tag for such a tweet? Now, I'm sure there are some people who made a bunch of money. I've actually seen some screenshots. I couldn't find them, but somebody, I think, invested $50,000 and they took on a bunch of leverage and then they cashed out, I think, for like $2 million from this pump. And here's the pump. If I head on over to Bitcoin, so we were at around $27,500 or so. It spiked to $29,500. It immediately came down once people realized that this was fake news about the spot Bitcoin ETF. But surprisingly, the price then went back up and it's kind of leveled off, which I'm actually very, very surprised about. Taking a look at the 7-day Bitcoin price, I would assume after a big wick like we just saw, the price would actually rebound farther down. I could have imagined and actually would have predicted, honestly, that the price maybe would have hit $25,000 because a lot of people would have just been pissed and fed up. And then they said, well, clearly the ETF is not coming and therefore we're just going to sell. But that didn't happen. The price actually stayed relatively high. So what this means is that this spot Bitcoin ETF is not already priced into the market. A lot of people thought that the ETF news was already priced in, that it was going to happen. It's just a matter of time for it to happen, which I believe it will. But seeing as though the price literally jumped up, looking at CoinMarketCap, about 1.6% over the last 24 hours, and at its peak, probably like 3-4%, that if there was actually news of the spot Bitcoin ETF being approved, we would see Bitcoin skyrocket way past $30,000. I'm sure if this did not go down, we would have seen the price go way, way higher today, probably $32,000, $34,000, $35,000 possibly. So what did we learn from the video? Well, we learned that we're giving Cointelegraph, which is just some publication that started not too long ago, a lot more credibility and credence than we probably should. We're giving it a lot more weight than we probably should have. The issue, though, is that apparently on the Bloomberg terminal, it was reported that this ETF was approved. So it's almost like a really bad game of telephone. Everybody started sharing that this spot Bitcoin ETF was approved, and every single news source wants to be the first. They all want to be the first one for the news to get news out because it brings them money if they do so. But just to drive this home, we see that the ETF news is not priced in, as we can see from this wick. And when the ETF actually does come out, the price will go, in my opinion, not financial advice, much, much higher. But the real question too is when, at what price, will Larry Fink and his billionaire buddies sell Bitcoin? Or when will they suggest to their clients to sell Bitcoin? Because BlackRock, I believe, has a lot of managed accounts. They have ETFs, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton. All of these people or all of these institutions manage trillions of dollars. And if they want Bitcoin to go higher, they're going to do things to make Bitcoin go higher. But the question is, at what price are they going to sell? And we don't know that. Obviously, the last bull run, everybody was expecting this $100,000 price of Bitcoin. And then when it didn't happen, everyone basically just saw their bags go down because they were all waiting to sell at this magic $100,000 price. We realized, though, from Sam Bankman-Fried's trial that they were suppressing the price of Bitcoin, ironically. So who knows what would have happened had Sam and Caroline Ellison not sold all of this Bitcoin to keep the price of Bitcoin below $20,000. So guys, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.